name is David Banner. The world thinks I'm dead. I travel alone.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another Antwoord Movie Mania. In this video we are continuing the story of Dr. David Banner in the trial of the Incredible Hulk. So in this video I'm going to be discussing the film itself. I'm going to be showing you the Hulk out on the subway and in the courtroom, and to finish it up with the final act we're going to be showing you Daredevil plus a fan-made intro to go along with it. So let's get to it. Starring Bill Bixby as Dr. David Banner, Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk, Rex Smith as Daredevil / Matt Murdock, and John Rhys Davies as Wilson Fisk / the Kingpin. So after the Incredible Hulk returns, we find David working on a farm and in a muddy trench, and he's being harassed by a co-worker, but he refuses to rise up to it, and that's where we find out that David has pretty much lost his way in the world and he's given up on what he's about and who he is. So he decides to leave the farm and he moves to the city and rent a room, and there we find that he's looking for jobs. But as that's going on, we also see a highly sophisticated crime going on, run by a local kingpin, Wilson Fisk, on a diamond heist. So as that's happening, the crew disperse and two of them run down to the subway where David is. They get on the train, and David sat in front of a woman called Ellie Mendez, and one of the thugs notice her and they try to take advantage of her, and David just reluctantly doesn't try to help until he sees how much distress she's in, and then he decides to give up and he tries to help her, but unfortunately things don't go the way everyone thinks it's going to go, and the thugs take on David, and that's where things get nasty. So after everything that happened, the Hulk finally changes back into David, and unfortunately the police do catch up with him and they arrest him and put him in prison, and that's where we meet Matt Murdock, who takes on David's case because he wants to crack down on the local kingpin, Wilson Fisk. He believes David, and he does believe that the two men attacked Ellie Mendez and they've done the diamond heist, but David says once she regains consciousness she'll tell them that story and then I'll be let go. Unfortunately, they've got to Ellie Mendez first and they've threatened her parents, so they've made a change to the story that the two men tried to help and David attacked her. And that's why David wants to be left alone, he wants to stay out of it. And this is why David says this.
Who are you?
Nobody.
No fingerprints on the file, no record, no next of kin. Is
as if you don't exist. Leave it that way.
So Matt Murdock decides to visit the hospital to visit Ellie Mendez to try and get her to change her story. And unfortunately, Wilson Fisk has got a nurse in there to make sure that she sticks to her story, that the two men tried to help and David tried to assault her. But then Wilson Fisk decides to cut all loose ends and have the Ellie Mendez woman killed. And as the nurse decides to stick a needle in her, this is where we finally meet Daredevil for the first time, who has different plans. So, as Ellie Mendez is kept safe from Wilson Fisk, Matt Murdock turns his case back to David. He wants him to stand trial, and David says he can't stand trial because he goes through a change, and this is why. Luckily that was all a dream sequence, but unfortunately for David, in reality it does make him turn it back into the Hulk and he does bust out of prison. Now with all this happening, Ellie Mendez phones up Matt Murdock saying she wants to change her story to that the two men did assault her and David did try to help putting David in the clear. But by the time Matt Murdock gets there, Wilson Fisk has her kidnapped because he wants to set up a trap for Daredevil because he has come a thorn in his side, ruining everything that's going on in his crime organisation. So Kingpin throws everything at Daredevil and this is the result of what happens. So the Hulk saves Daredevil from nearly being killed by Wilson Fisk, and David nurses Matt Murdock back to health. But as that's going on, Wilson Fisk has invited all the local crime bosses to join forces in the Fisk Tower. So Fisk wants to run the full corporation. So as that's going on, David tries to rescue the Ellie Mendez woman, and Daredevil tries to put a stop to Wilson Fisk's plans.
Intermission. Your power is finished in the city bed. Finished! Finished!
Unfortunately, the Kingpin got away, but Ellie Mendez got saved by David. With entrusting each other's secrets with Matt and David and helping the woman, they finally found the place back in the world again to help others. And that where it leaves Matt Murdock one step closer to cracking down on Wilson Fisk, and David, unfortunately, back on the road again, travelling to his next story. But that is my review on the Trial of the Incredible Hulk, and now onto a fan edit of an intro to the Trial of the Incredible Hulk. Enjoy.
Dr. David Banner, physician, scientist, searching for a way to tap into the hidden strengths that all humans have. Then an accidental overdose of gamma radiation alters his body chemistry. And now when David Banner grows angry or outraged, a startling metamorphosis occurs. He must let the world think that he is dead until he can find a way to control the raging spirit that dwells within him.
Now, there was meant to be a Daredevil TV series with Rex Smith continuing as Matt Murdock trying to crack down on the Kingpin, but unfortunately that never happened because the CW decided to bring out The Flash with John Wesley Shipp, which I love, by the way. I love the first season of The Flash, which is a shame it only got cancelled after one season. But unfortunately, the TV show Daredevil never got to be because of The Flash. And in the courtroom, I hope you noticed a certain Stan Lee cameo. That was his very first cameo as a jury in the Marvel franchise. But that is it. That is my full Trial of the Incredible Hulk review. I hope you all enjoyed it. What did you like? Did you enjoy the Hulk out in the courtroom? I know that is a good sequence. Or the Hulk out in the train station on the subway. But as always, my next video will be the end of this franchise run, unfortunately. So it's going to be a very bittersweet video to make because I love doing these Hulk videos. The Death of the Incredible Hulk, please keep an eye out for that one. That's going to be a tough but fun one to make. But as always, please leave your likes, your comments, please subscribe. And I'm Antwood Movie Mania, and I will see you in the next one. See you later.